folks from Italy, England, Georgia, Baltimore, where I just was a few days ago. Well,
Right.
technically I was in Atlanta too, sitting in the Sky Lounge.
You've been all over.
Germany. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us, and the many more who will join us virtually afterwards and catch the replay. But Poland. Awesome. So, welcome. Thank you for joining Dhanya and myself for this presentation on moving beyond violence. This is, it's close to my heart. You all know that I wear this blue wristband, which, as some of you may know, it says "Cultivate Peace." So that I wear that as a reminder of what my main job is. And so when Dhanya approached me and said, hey, actually, it was a couple of years ago you first wrote about
Yeah, it was
being,
many months ago at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then again about doing this presentation, I was like, oh yeah, that lines up. So why don't you tell folks what what prompted this this presentation?
Sure. Yeah. So thank you for, being open to it and seeing the need for it and making the space for it. So my name is Dhanya. And so just a little background. I am from the city of Philadelphia. So, we can only speak for where we are from, what we are used to. And then some things that we know definitely do resonate with places that are very similar, those that go through similar things as we do. So just being from a community like Philadelphia and it being June. So happy June to everybody. Happy June 10th. I hope you guys are all doing well. But June is also, among many other things, men's mental health as well, is National Gun Violence Awareness Month. So it being so near and dear to me, having it be a very personal thing in my personal life on a domestic level, and then being, tied to it on a national level as well. And just every day, right? Our everyday living in some of these cities, the reality is that it's a daily part of our life, right? So just navigating through the reality of where we live, but just also the balance of living, right? And enjoying living and thriving in these said areas, right? So is why it was so important to me, and something that has been tugging at me for a couple of years now, right? To do something, anything that we can, right? Whether it's just to gather in spaces like this, to set the intention around it and make time and space for all of us that feel this in any ways that we do, in all of the ways that we do.
Yeah. And yeah, as we're able to use this great tool of tapping to process all of the stuff that comes up around that, when we clear what doesn't feel like peace, peace is what's left. Mm-hmm. So when Dhanya and I looked at the calendar, it's like, okay, we want to do this during this month. Now it's interesting. It was, I believe June 2nd is National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Mm-hmm. And that was the day that I heard Azim speak. So sort of divine timing. Last week, I was in Baltimore for the Energy Psychology Conference, 25th annual one. I was at the second one. That's where I first learned EFT. Wow. When people said, hey, you should go to this conference. And so now all these years later, I go, and on that day, and I don't even know if they knew the timing of it. I heard this gentleman speak named Azim Khamisa, who 28 years ago, his son was shot and killed by a 14-year-old gang member. And Azim, going through his process, found forgiveness for this kid, realizing, this is the key part, he realized there was a gun on both, there was a victim on both ends of that gun. And started a foundation in his son's name, the Tariq Khamisa Foundation, and worked with the young man who shot his son. His grandfather, who was raising him, he worked with him, and they spoke together to groups to talk about forgiveness and peace and nonviolence. And then Azim met with the boy in prison and forgave him, and eventually brought him in after he was out of jail. But recognizing that through that boy's circumstances forced him into a very difficult situation. And that is the case. When this violence occurs, nobody creates an act of violence, commits an act of violence out of a happy, healthy place.
Yes, yes.
So it's not only healing the pain that's inside of us as the result of violence, but also the pain that's inside of us that leads to violence. And that's why we're here to move beyond violence. And so grateful to everyone who's contributing collectively to the energy of that here live right now on Saturday, as well as in the future. And then another divinely perfect thing leading up to this is last night, my wife and I went and saw Mr. Peace and Love himself, Ringo Starr, in concert.
Yes. Oh.
And this morning, just reading things about Ringo, naturally the internet, pushes all kinds of things to you, and all this stuff about John Lennon. And remembering that, yes, John Lennon was a victim of gun violence. And so that inspired me to wear my my Imagine t-shirt. Imagine all the people living life in peace. So that's what we're here to do. So I would like everyone now to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Just breathing comfortably, and go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. Just following your breath through your body, just allowing yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Just allow yourself to be aware of those places where you might be holding on to pain from violence. This could be violence that you've personally experienced. It could be violence that has been in your family, your community. It could simply be violence that you've heard about in the news, or even just reading stories, reading history. And as human beings, we can be affected by that. Just allow yourself to be aware of where you might be holding on to that violence, where you've been touched by violence. Notice where in your body it might be. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10, how strong it might feel at the moment. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Open your eyes. And for anyone who's new to tapping and just somehow happened upon this video, for right now, just tap where I tap and repeat back what I say. Even though I've been touched by violence.
Even though I've been touched by violence.
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I've been touched by violence.
Even though I've been touched by violence,
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
Even though I've been touched by violence,
Even though I've been touched by violence,
maybe directly,
maybe directly,
maybe distantly,
maybe distantly,
but it's hard to be in this world
but it's hard to be in this world
and not at least know about violence.
and not at least know about violence.
And since everything is energy
And since everything is energy
and we are all connected,
and we are all connected,
I've been touched by it.
I've been touched by it.
And even though I've been touched by violence,
And even though I've been touched by violence,
I choose to deeply and completely
I choose to deeply and completely
love, honor, and accept myself,
love, honor, and accept myself,
and maybe anyone else who might be involved in this,
and maybe anyone else who might be involved in this,
because I choose to be that free.
because I choose to be that free.
I've been touched by violence,
I've been touched by violence,
and part of me hangs on to that.
and a part of me hangs on to that.
All this pain of violence,
All of this pain of violence,
all this violence that remains inside of me,
all of this violence that remains inside of me,
all the ways that I've been hurt by it.
all of the ways that I've been hurt by it.
Maybe I've been physically hurt by violence
Maybe I've been physically hurt by violence
or emotionally hurt.
or emotionally hurt.
Even if it happened to someone else,
Even if it happened to someone else,
we're all connected.
we're all connected.
And part of me feels that pain.
And a part of me feels that pain.
And part of me might say,
And a part of me might say,
I better hang on to that.
I better hang on to that.
I might need this pain
I might need this pain
because it somehow protects me.
because it somehow protects me.
Maybe I'm afraid
Maybe I'm afraid
that if I don't hang on to this pain,
that if I don't hang on to this pain,
I won't pay attention.
I won't pay attention.
I won't protect myself.
I won't protect myself.
I won't keep myself safe.
I won't keep myself safe.
I need this pain to remind me
I need this pain to remind me
that it's a dangerous world
that it's a dangerous world.
and I need to be on guard all the time.
And I need to be on guard all the time.
And there may even be places
And there may even be places
and times
and times
where I am absolutely safe.
where I'm absolutely safe.
But part of me is saying,
But part of me is saying,
better safe than sorry.
better safe than sorry.
I can't afford to let my guard down.
I can't afford to let my guard down.
I need to hang on to this pain,
I need to hang on to this pain.
not because I'm bad or stupid,
Not because I'm bad or stupid.
not because I'm weak or lazy,
Not because I'm weak or lazy.
but because my programming tells me
But because my programming tells me
this is what I need to do to keep myself safe.
this is what I need to do to keep myself safe.
And I choose to really love and appreciate those parts of me
And I choose to really love and appreciate those parts of me
that carry this pain around,
that carrying this pain around,
that insist on carrying this pain around
that insist on carrying this pain around
in order to protect myself.
in order to protect myself.
And I'm allowing myself to process that.
And I allow myself to process that.
I choose to be open to the possibility.
And I choose to be open to the possibility
I can still make really good decisions.
that I can still make really good decisions.
I can take really good care of myself
I can take really good care of myself
without this burden of pain.
without this burden of pain.
I'm not wrong for carrying it.
I'm not wrong for carrying it.
I'm just open to the possibility.
I'm just open to the possibility.
I could allow myself greater freedom.
I can allow myself greater freedom.
I could allow myself greater peace.
I can allow myself greater peace.
Because I want more peace in the world.
Because I do want more peace in the world.
And if I'm limiting my peace,
And if I'm limiting my peace,
I'm limiting the global peace.
I'm eliminating the global peace.
And I don't want to limit that.
And I don't want to limit that.
So I choose to clear what doesn't feel like peace.
So I choose to clear what doesn't feel like peace.
Clearing that stuff at a cellular level
clearing that stuff at a cellular level,
and all the way back through my past,
and all the way back through my past,
back through all the times I was somehow touched by violence.
back through all of the times that I was somehow touched by violence.
Part of me knows
Part of me knows
that violence comes from violence.
that violence comes from violence.
And if I hold on to that pain,
And if I hold on to that pain,
part of me might say,
part of me might say,
I want to be violent.
I want to be violent.
I want to use this fear,
I want to use this fear,
maybe to hurt someone else,
maybe to hurt someone else,
either because they've hurt me
either because they hurt me
or before they have a chance to hurt me.
or before they have a chance to hurt me.
And I love and honor all these parts of me.
And I love and honor all of these parts of me.
It just comes from a lot of old programming
It just comes from a lot of old programming
about how I need to protect myself.
about how I need to protect myself.
And I'm moving through that.
And I'm moving through that.
I choose to clear what doesn't feel like peace.
I choose to clear what doesn't feel like peace.
I choose to be part of the solution.
I choose to be a part of the solution.
And the solution to violence
And the solution to violence
is more peace.
is more peace.
As Martin Luther King Jr. said,
As Martin Luther King Jr. said,
darkness cannot drive out the darkness.
darkness cannot drive out the darkness.
Only light can do that.
Only light can do that.
Hate cannot drive out hate.
Hate cannot drive out hate.
Only love can do that.
Only love can do that.
So I'm clearing what doesn't feel like the light.
So I'm clearing what doesn't feel like the light.
I'm clearing what doesn't feel like love.
And clearing what doesn't feel like love.
I'm clearing what doesn't feel like peace.
I'm clearing what doesn't feel like peace.
And I acknowledge
And I acknowledge
it might not always be easy,
it might not always be easy,
especially depending on how I've been touched by violence.
especially depending on how I've been touched by violence.
So I love and forgive myself.
So I love and forgive myself.
If I don't instantly evolve,
I don't instantly evolve,
feeling nothing but peace,
feeling nothing but peace.
progress, not perfection,
Progress, not perfection.
but I'm giving myself the permission to feel more peace.
I give myself more permission to feel peace.
I'm giving myself permission to heal the pain,
I'm giving myself permission to heal the pain,
healing this pain from violence,
healing this pain from violence,
from all the ways that I've been touched by violence,
from all of the ways that I've been touched by violence,
clearing what doesn't feel like peace,
clearing what doesn't feel like peace,
clearing any need for revenge.
clearing any need for revenge.
We've definitely learned that feeling.
We've definitely learned that feeling.
There's an old expression about an eye for an eye,
There's an old expression for an eye for an eye.
and I love and honor that part of me
And I love and honor that part of me
that says I still want it.
that says I still want it.
All this violence inside of me
All of this violence inside of me
that is there as the result of violence,
that is there from the result of violence.
and I'm processing that
And I'm processing that.
because it's a vicious cycle.
It's such a vicious cycle.
And where does it end?
And where does it end?
How about with me?
How about with me?
I choose to be the one
I choose to be the one
who breaks the cycle,
who breaks this cycle,
allowing myself to heal,
allowing myself to heal,
processing the pain,
processing the pain,
allowing myself as much healing as possible,
allowing myself as much healing as possible,
giving myself permission
giving myself permission
to heal.
to heal.
And I understand
And I understand
that there might be a lot of people out there
that there might be a lot of people out there
who say, you can't do that.
who say you can't do that.
You need to stay angry.
You need to stay angry.
You need to stay in pain.
You need to stay in pain.
Some people might say,
Some people might say,
if I release the pain,
if I release the pain,
I dishonor the victims.
I dishonor the victims.
I need to suffer on their behalf.
I need to suffer on their behalf.
I love and appreciate everyone who says that
I love and appreciate everyone who says that
with the best of intentions.
with the best of intentions.
And I'm allowing myself to process this
And I'm allowing myself to process this
and see how it helps.
and see how it helps.
It doesn't help very much.
It doesn't help.
It just leads to more violence.
It just leads to more violence.
Even if that violence is just inside of me.
Even if the violence is just inside of me.
So now I'm choosing peace.
So now I choose peace.
For the highest good of all concerned.
For the highest good of all concerned.
Allowing myself more peace.
Allowing myself more peace.
In body, mind, and spirit.
In body, mind, and spirit.
And take a deep breath. Close your eyes, go inside and just check in and see how you're doing. Take a quick look here at some of the comments.
That was wonderful, Brad.
Thank you. Thank you for co-creating it. Well, we all co-create it. It's like I was there going, I've been going on for a while. I did a live workshop in Washington, D.C. on Monday. And in the back of the room where I always start by saying, is there anyone here who's not familiar with EFT? And in most cases, most people know that have watched my videos, but there were two young women in the back who raised their hand. I'm like, who brought you? Why did they not prepare you? And at the end of the first round, I try to keep them shorter on YouTube, but when I'm in the role, especially in a live workshop, I go longer. And she said, so how was that? And she said, it was long.
Definitely have your water on deck, right?
Exactly. And I know this round was fairly long, but it's like the ideas come. It's like,
Yes,
oh,
yes.
you really got to touch on this. Oh, you really don't forget to mention this.
That was a great flow.
So just trying to cover as many bases as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim, we're allowed to take a deep breath even if we haven't tapped first to earn it. Mm-hmm. Always earn it. That's one of the things I love about breathing is, to me, it's a great reminder that the universe, God, creator, however, for each person means, it's a great reminder that we are worthy and deserving of abundance, because every breath we take is a request, and the answer is always yes.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And then do this. Take a big, deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. And just notice that you asked for more, and the universe said, yeah, okay. Mm. Didn't say, no, I'm sorry, you only get the same amount of breath as before. Aga says, I can't let it go because this person will do it again and again. So folks, go ahead and be tapping throughout, even if we're not doing a formal tap around. By no means is the suggestion here to say, oh, well, I'm in an abusive situation and this person is violent to me, but I'm just going to tap away and I feel peace. And so I'm okay with it. Please, please, please don't hear it as that. In the place of peace, we tend to think more clearly. I mean, we definitely think more clearly. When we're in fear and anger and all these uncomfortable emotions, prefrontal cortex shuts down and we can't see answers. So we go into fight or flight. Either I just take it and I stay here and I, somehow suffer through it, or I take violent action outwards. And as we allow ourselves to calm down, we can think more clearly and go, wait a minute, there are options. Years ago, my wife and I worked for an agency that had a number of different social services, including a battered women's shelter. So it was a place for women to escape domestic violence. So there are options. And so this is by no means a matter of saying the violence that other people are doing is okay. It's not excusing violence. We're here to clear the pain that's inside so that we can find a way to move towards peace. Ultimately, I say the ideal is for us to get to a place where we can love everyone. There are people who need to be loved from a distance, maybe quite a big distance. So by all means, get yourself to a place where you're clear enough to look at, how do I, get from a place like this? So let's do it right here. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just follow your breath through your body. And allow yourself to be aware now of the fear. The fear of being a victim of violence. Notice where in your body you feel that. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong it is. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. Even though I feel all this fear,
Even though I feel all this fear,
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear,
Even though I feel all of this fear,
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
Even though I feel all of this fear,
Even though I feel all of this fear
that I'll be hurt,
all this fear that I'll be hurt,
all this fear that someone I love will be hurt,
all this fear that someone I love will be hurt,
because it is a dangerous world.
because it is a dangerous world.
And I feel like I need to be in fear.
And I feel like I need to be in fear.
And even though I feel all this fear,
And even though I feel all of this fear,
I choose to deeply and completely
I choose to deeply and completely
love, honor, and accept myself,
love, honor, and accept myself,
and maybe anyone else who might be involved.
and maybe anyone else who might be involved.
All this fear,
All of this fear,
all this fear in my body,
all of this fear in my body,
all this fear that I'll be hurt,
all of this fear that I'll be hurt,
all this fear that someone I love will be hurt,
all of this fear that someone I love will be hurt,
all this fear that anybody will be hurt,
all of this fear that anybody will be hurt,
because everything is energy
because everything is energy
and we are all connected.
and we are all connected.
So I don't want anyone to get hurt,
So I don't want anyone to get hurt,
because then I'm getting hurt too.
because then I'm getting hurt too.
And hurt people hurt people.
And hurt people hurt people.
All this fear.
All of this fear.
And when people commit acts of violence,
When people commit acts of violence,
they're experiencing fear as well.
they are experiencing fear as well.
It's been said there are only two emotions.
It's been said there are only two emotions.
There's love and there's fear.
There's love and there's fear.
So if something isn't coming from an action of love,
So if something isn't coming from an action of love,
it's coming from fear.
it's coming from fear.
So as I allow myself to process my own fear,
So as I allow myself to process my own fear,
I'm helping to clear the collective fear,
I'm helping to clear the collective fear,
including from people who might want to be violent,
including from people who might want to be violent,
even when that person is me.
even when that person is me.
I'm clearing the fear that's behind violence,
Clearing the fear that's behind violence,
clearing the fear that's behind anger,
clearing the fear that's behind anger,
because anger has a lot of fear underneath.
because anger has a lot of fear underneath.
So as I allow myself to clear anger, as I allow myself to clear fear,
As I allow myself to clear fear,
I am also clearing anger
I'm also clearing anger
and all the other uncomfortable feelings
and all of the other uncomfortable feelings
that lead to violence.
that lead to violence.
And part of me might say,
And a part of me might say,
I can't let go of fear.
I can't let go of fear.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Have you seen the crime rates in my city?
Have you seen the crime rates in my city?
It would be stupid to not be afraid.
It would be stupid to not be afraid.
Fear is necessary.
Fear is necessary.
Even at those times
Even at those times
where I might be objectively safe.
where I might be objectively safe.
And part of me says,
A part of me says,
yeah, I better feel some fear anyway,
I better feel some fear anyway,
just to be on the safe side.
just to be on the safe side.
Because I have this fear
Because I have this fear
that if I'm not afraid,
that if I'm not afraid,
I won't be aware,
I won't be aware,
I won't be careful,
I won't be careful,
I'll make poor choices.
I'll make poor choices.
I'll go walking by myself at night
I'll go walking by myself at night
in places I know I shouldn't be.
in places I know I shouldn't be.
But hey, I don't feel any fear.
But hey, I don't feel any fear.
So why not?
So why not?
I love and appreciate those parts of me
I love and appreciate those parts of me
that insist on feeling fear,
that insist on feeling fear,
thinking it's necessary to keep me smart.
thinking it's necessary to keep me smart.
And now I'm allowing myself to reconsider that,
And now I'm allowing myself to reconsider that
because part of me knows
because a part of me knows
I can often make really good choices
I can often make really good choices
without feeling fear.
without feeling fear.
When I'm crossing a street,
When I'm crossing the street,
I don't need to work myself into a panic
I don't need to work myself up into a panic
to remind myself to look both ways at traffic.
to remind myself to look both ways in traffic.
I can feel absolutely calm
I can feel absolutely calm
and still make good choices
and still make good choices
in order to protect myself.
in order to protect myself.
I can feel peace
I can feel peace
and be really smart.
and be really smart.
In fact, I can be smarter
In fact, I can be even smarter
because fear shuts down my rational mind.
because fear shuts down my rational mind.
The more peace I feel,
The more peace I feel,
the better the choices I can make.
the better the choices I can make.
And I can find much better solutions.
And I can find much better solutions.
How to take care of myself personally,
How to take care of myself personally,
how to take care of my family,
how to take care of my family,
how to take care of my community,
how to take care of my community.
as I allow myself to feel more peace
As I allow myself to feel more peace
and think more clearly,
and think more clearly,
I might come up with a solution for violence.
I might come up with a solution for violence.
I could transform my community.
I can transform my community.
I could transform the world.
I can transform the world.
And it starts with transforming myself.
And it starts with transforming myself.
And I'm allowing myself to do that.
And I'm allowing myself to do that.
And I'd rather transform myself with love than fear.
And rather transform myself with love than fear.
So I'm clearing what doesn't feel like love,
So I'm clearing what doesn't feel like love,
reassuring myself
reassuring myself.
this will not make me dumb.
This will not make me dumb.
This will not make me more vulnerable.
This will not make me more vulnerable.
As I allow myself to get more clear,
As I allow myself to get more clear,
I find the ways to take care of myself,
I find the ways to take care of myself.
allowing myself to feel more peace.
Allowing myself to feel more peace.
Is not about resigning myself to violence.
It's not about resigning myself to violence.
It's not me saying,
It's not me saying,
there's a lot of violence in this world,
there's a lot of violence in the world,
but hey, I'm chill, so it's okay.
but hey, I'm chill, so it's okay.
I'm allowing myself to feel so chill
I'm allowing myself to feel so chill
that I can see the actions that I can take
that I can see the actions that I can take
to take better care of myself
to take better care of myself
and eventually others.
and eventually others.
And I got to put the oxygen mask on my own face first.
And I have to put the oxygen mask on my own face first.
And then I can help others.
And then I can help others.
It's hard for me to create more peace in the world
It's hard for me to create more peace in the world
if I don't do it inside first.
if I don't do it inside first.
It's hard to end violence in the world
It's hard to end violence in the world
if I'm hanging on to it inside.
if I'm hanging on to it inside.
And I love and honor all those parts of me
And I love and honor all of those parts of me
that are feeling what they think they need to feel
that are feeling what they think they need to feel
based on all the programming that I have.
based on all of the programming that I have,
And I'm allowing myself to be more free.
and allowing myself to be more free.
And as I allow myself to clear what doesn't feel like peace,
And as I allow myself to clear what doesn't feel like peace,
I create more peace in the world.
I create more peace in the world,
And people will feel less fear.
and people will feel less fear.
I'm here to end violence
I'm here to end violence
by clearing fear.
by clearing fear.
And I can do this.
And I can do that
I'm inspiring others to do that.
and inspire others to do that.
I choose to feel so much peace,
I choose to feel so much peace,
so much freedom from fear,
so much freedom from fear,
that people look at me
that people look at me.
and say, hey, I'll have what you're having.
Hey, I'll have what you're having.
And as we all feel this way,
And as we all feel this way,
no one's going to want to be violent.
no one's going to want to be violent.
As we allow ourselves to feel love,
As we allow ourselves to feel love,
we lose any compulsion to hurt,
we lose any compulsion to hurt,
clearing the fear,
clearing the fear,
clearing it at a cellular level,
clearing it at a cellular level,
and all the way back through my past,
and all the way back through my past,
back through all the times I learned to be afraid,
back to all of the times that I learned to be afraid,
changing all those lessons
changing all of those lessons
from be afraid
from be afraid
to be smart,
to be smart,
allowing myself to be more and more smart
allowing myself to be more and more smart
in body, mind, and spirit.
in body, mind, and spirit.
Take a deep breath. And just allow yourself with your eyes closed to go inside and just feel where that fear had been. See if it's shifted at all. This is it's an absolutely human response to feel that fear, but recognizing it's not it doesn't work for us. It's not a bulletproof vest. You know, it's it ultimately, and sometimes, in actually in many cases, fear can get us into more trouble because it limits our ability to think clearly, and which can put us in harm's way or lead us to get into harmful situations or create harm that then can add to more harm to ourselves. So allowing ourselves to get to that place where we're able to really clearly see things and look and say, okay, how do I make a good choice here? And I can do that without feeling this anxiety and this stuff that feels so painful in the body. All right. See what folks are saying in the chat box. Finding ways to keep yourself safe in situations that are tough. Dhanya, anything you want to add at the moment?
Yeah, that second round was great. It really did generate some chill, honestly, to the situation, right? And just reminds me that we can even tap in said situations where we might not feel safe, even as a to-go tool, like in live present time, right? What a tool it can be in those situations when needed.
Absolutely. It's just such a simple stress relief technique for down regulating that stress response.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, there's such a movement to have EFT made available in traumatic situations. My good friend, Dr. Lori Layden, was in Sandy Hook. She went in there after the shooting there and worked with folks. She's also been in Rwanda working with victims of the genocide. Yeah, she's amazing. But a lot of my friends have done that kind of work and gone in, and finding those places where that energy is, that fear, that pain, and allowing yourself to say, okay, if nothing else, at least I can calm down my nervous system.
Yes.
At least I can take the edge off, if nothing else.
And it gets us to a point, right, where the gentleman that you met this weekend, Azim, I think his name was, right?
Yeah.
And, over the course of some time, being able to do something with it where we're able to talk and there isn't that rock in your throat type of feeling, right? You, of course, you're still carrying it in some way or shape or form, but it isn't that anymore, right? It isn't that feeling of crippling your physical body, right? Your physical throat and your mind, right? You're able to do beautiful things at the end of the day, sometimes with these things, right? In spite of them. So yeah, amazing tool to do that with.
Close your eyes, take a deep breath. It's just inspiring an idea. Just following your breath through your body. Just notice what's going on in there. Just allowing yourself to be aware of what you're feeling at the moment. No particular prompts at the moment, just seeing what you're feeling. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. Now, flip this around to a positive statement. I choose to be a force for good.
I choose to be a force for good.
And I choose to love and accept myself.
And I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to be a force for good.
I choose to be a force for good.
And I choose to love and honor myself.
And I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to be a force for good.
I choose to be a force for good.
I choose to be able.
I choose to be able.
To take whatever pain I've experienced in the past.
To take whatever pain I've experienced in the past.
And transmute it.
And transmute it.
Transform it.
Transform it.
Create as much good as I can from it.
Create as much good as I can from it.
I choose to be a force for good.
I choose to be a force for good.
And I choose to deeply and completely.
I choose to deeply and completely.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
And maybe anyone else who might be involved.
And maybe anyone else who might be involved.
Because I choose to be that free.
Because I choose to be that free.
I choose to be a force for good.
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 And I've experienced pain.
And I've experienced pain.
And I choose to transform that.
And I choose to transform that.
I choose to find.
I choose to find.
How I can make something powerful out of this.
How I can choose to find how to make something powerful out of this.
And I'm just the person to do it.
And I'm just the person to do it.
So many of the wonderful things in this world.
So many of the wonderful things in this world.
Have come as the result.
Has come as the result.
Of something that wasn't so wonderful.
Of something that wasn't so wonderful.
And I totally forgive myself.
And I totally forgive myself.
If in the moment of something bad happening.
If in the moment of something bad happening.
I'm not saying to myself.
I'm not saying to myself.
I can't wait to see what good thing comes from this.
I can't wait to see what good thing comes from this.
And as much as possible.
And as much as possible.
I choose to cultivate wonderful things in this world.
I choose to cultivate wonderful things in this world
without needing pain as a catalyst.
without needing pain as a catalyst.
But since pain has happened,
But since pain has happened,
I choose to see
I choose to see
how that can be a catalyst for something good,
how that can be a catalyst for something good,
how I can turn it around
how I can turn it around
and say, this really sucked.
and say, this really sucked,
How can this inspire me
but how can this inspire me
to make the world a better place?
to make the world a better place?
I choose to be a force for good.
I choose to be a force for good.
Mother Teresa once said,
Mother Teresa once said,
I won't go to an anti-war protest.
I won't go to an anti-war protest.
Be for something,
Before something,
be for peace,
before peace,
and I'll be there.
and I'll be there.
I'm moving through that part of me
I'm moving through that part of me
that is anti-violence,
that is anti-violence,
because that insists on holding on to violence.
because that insists on holding on to violence.
And I love those parts of me that feel stuck there.
And I love those parts of me that feel stuck there.
And I'm continuing this journey
And I'm continuing this journey
to clear what doesn't feel like peace,
to clear what doesn't feel like peace,
so that I am for peace,
so that I am for peace,
so that I am a force for good,
so that I am a force for good,
so that when I look at what's going wrong in the world,
so that when I look at what's going wrong in the world,
I look at what I can do.
I'll look at what I can do.
Desmond Tutu once said,
Desmond Tutu once said,
we're so busy trying to pull people out of the river.
we're so busy trying to pull people out of the river.
We need to go upstream and find out how they're falling in.
We need to go upstream and find out how they're falling in.
Same with violence.
Same with violence.
I'm so upset at people who are violent.
I'm so upset at people who are violent.
But what leads to that?
But what leads to that?
And how can I be a force for good?
And how can I be a force for good?
Such that I can help them transform their lives
Such that I can help them transform their lives
before they ever get to that point of being violent.
before they ever get to that point of being violent.
And maybe all I can do is feel peace myself.
And maybe at the very least, I can feel peace myself.
It's a starting point.
It's a starting point.
And it makes a difference.
And it makes such a big difference.
I have it within me to do that.
I have it within me to do that.
I honor all the feelings that I have,
I honor all of the feelings that I have,
even the violent ones.
even the violent ones.
If I just say I have to get rid of them,
If I just say I have to get rid of them,
that's an act of violence against myself.
that's an act of violence against myself.
I choose to love and honor all of me,
I choose to love and honor all of me,
and then see where I need healing
and then see where I need healing,
and allow myself that healing.
and allow myself that healing.
And as I allow myself that healing,
And as I allow myself that healing,
given that everything is energy
given that everything is energy
and we are all connected,
and that we are all connected,
as I allow myself that healing,
as I allow myself that healing,
I am being a force for good in the world.
I am being a force for good in the world.
As I allow myself to move beyond violence,
As I allow myself to move beyond violence,
I help the world move beyond violence.
I help the world move beyond violence.
As I allow myself to feel more peace,
As I allow myself to feel more peace,
I help the world feel more peace.
I help the world feel more peace.
That seems like something I can get on board with.
And that sounds like something I can get on board with.
And I love and honor those parts of me
And I love and honor those parts of me
that might not quite be there yet.
that might quite not be there yet.
There may still be things to process,
There may be still things to process,
but I'm acknowledging myself
but I'm acknowledging myself
for being willing to go there,
for being willing to go there,
for being willing to make this shift,
for being willing to make the shift,
because I have experienced pain.
because I have experienced pain.
And the world has often taught me
And the world has often taught me
to go a different way with that.
to go a different way with that.
And I'm making the courageous move
And I'm making the courageous move
to move towards peace,
to move towards peace,
to move towards love.
to move towards love.
And maybe at some point,
And maybe at some point,
if enough of us do this,
if enough of us do this,
we won't need to be aware of violence.
we won't need to be aware of violence.
We'll find peaceful solutions to everything.
We'll find peaceful solutions to everything.
You may call me a dreamer,
Dreamer.
but I'm not the only one.
But I'm not the only one.
Imagine all the people
Imagine all of the people
living life in peace.
living life in peace.
Let there be peace on earth,
Let there be peace on earth,
and let it begin with me.
and let it begin with me.
So I'm clearing what doesn't feel like peace.
So I'm clearing what doesn't feel like peace.
And right now, as I'm doing this,
And right now, as I'm doing this,
I am a force for good
I am a force for good
in body, mind, and spirit.
in body, mind, and spirit.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, go inside, and just feel what that feels like. And open your eyes. It was totally unplanned. I mean, I never know what's going to happen. So it's,
Yeah. Did you want to sing? You can be honest.
those words sound familiar. Oh, right.
You could have
It was not an
said.
intention to
Yeah.
sing the lyrics of that. It's one of the few things I can actually do on the piano. Well, I haven't done it in years now. I don't know if I still do it. I used to be able to play the opening of Imagine on the piano.
Oh, nice. Now you can tap it out.
So, Lynn, how can there be peace without justice?
Mm.
Well, that was another quote from Martin Luther King Jr. There's no peace without justice. And we can create that justice as we, clear what isn't peace inside of ourselves. That's where we find the ways to do it. That's how we move towards that. But as he said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. The light does that. So we work towards justice from that place of being for something. And I not trying to oversimplify it, but I hope that makes sense. But absolutely, that's when there is peace, I believe there is naturally more justice, because if we're not feeling it, if we're only feeling peace, why would we do injustice towards anyone else?
Mm. Mm.
What would be the compulsion? It's like, as we allow ourselves to love ourselves, to see that we're worthy of love, we naturally see that in others. And when we see that in others, why would we be unjust to someone else? So all we are saying is give peace a chance. They ended the concert with that last night, and I took a video of it, and I meant to put it up so that I could play that.
And that almost becomes the justice in itself, right? Is the peace that you're able to feel, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always like to end sessions with a guided imagery. Are we on board with that?
Yes, please.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So everyone go ahead and get yourselves comfortable. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Healing, cleansing, restoring, rejuvenating. Just allowing that light to flow through all of you. Go ahead and imagine a healing shower flowing down, crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing away violence. Washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are. This unique expression of divine light and love. Allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. Healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing, and allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. Finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards: 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Deeper, deeper. Remembering that each and every time you hear me say the words deep sleep, with your permission and only with your permission, you allow yourself to return to this depth or even deeper, quickly, soundly, deeply, and the physical body relaxes. And with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of calm well-being of body and mind. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place. Some place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of creation. It's a place where you allow yourself to be aware of how loving the universe is. This loving force that gives us sunlight, that gives us oxygen. Allow yourself to feel loved. Allow yourself to feel that you're being given what you need, especially being aware of that with each breath you take in. Go ahead and imagine a very loving light inside. It might start in your heart or somewhere in your center. It could start anywhere in your body, whatever feels right for you. Just imagine this very loving, healing light. With each breath you take in, that oxygen feeds that light, and that light grows and expands. This loving, healing light expanding to fill your whole torso. And that loving light spreads down through your legs, all the way down through your feet into the earth, up into your shoulders, out through your arms, down, out through your fingertips. That loving light expanding up through your neck and filling your head. That loving, healing light filling every nook and cranny of your being. And with each breath, that loving light keeps expanding so that it expands outside of you, radiating outwards. Just imagine this loving, healing light, this peaceful light radiating out from you. And you might imagine other people. And as you send that light outwards, it lights them up. And whatever part of them was not feeling peace, imagine this healing, loving light, healing whatever might cause them to be violent. And just seeing that violence melting away. As you continue allowing your light to expand, imagine yourself rising up out of your body. So you float up above yourself and you look down and you see this light, this loving, healing light just radiating out and washing over all the people around you. And they light up and then they radiate that healing, loving light. Allow yourself to float up even higher so you can look down and see that spreading throughout your town. Rising up even more so you can see that loving light, that healing light spreading out throughout your city, your state, your country, your continent, your hemisphere, the entire planet, looking down and just seeing that loving, healing light being spread around. You can just see the peace spreading around the world. Seeing that healing happening for everyone on the planet, such that they let go of what doesn't feel like peace, and then peace is all they have to give to each other. Allowing yourself to feel good about how you are cultivating this peace. The more peace you allow yourself to feel, the more you cultivate it in the world, and allowing yourself to feel really good about that. Just looking at this loving, peaceful light spreading around the world. And allow yourself to look at that and say, yeah, I want to be there. So allow yourself to float back down into your body, feeling that love in every fiber of your being, feeling that peace, knowing that you're spreading it. As we go even deeper now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before, feeling much more peaceful, allowing yourself to feel peace and spreading that peace. Finding ways to make a positive difference in your family, in yourself, in your community. Allowing yourself to make a positive difference, and also knowing that just allowing yourself to feel more peace, you are already making a positive difference. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit, so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward into that ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. Now go back down to zero, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all of these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. And welcome back. How are y'all doing?
That was wonderful, Brad.
This is from Jim. Peaceful eggs leads to peaceful chickens.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Dhanya, for reaching out to me and inspiring and starting this and for being the force for good that you are.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me illuminate, for if not for just a little bit of time. Yeah, that we got to do this together.
Likewise.
Yeah.
And this will be here and we'll touch countless others. So feel good about the how it will continue to spread to make a difference in so many ways for so many folks. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dhanya. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Give peace a chance, and inside first and then outwards. And look forward to tapping you again soon.
Bye.
Thank you for tapping along with me. I hope you're already experiencing a greater freedom to feel better, do better, and live better. Now you can help me be of service to even more folks by clicking like, commenting, sharing this video, and subscribing to my channel. Please and thank you. Be sure to get your free Success Beyond Belief program. Just click the link in the description box down below. And since nothing is so good it can't get better, I hope you'll allow yourself even greater freedom to succeed by tapping along with this video right here. Thanks.